Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, and as you can probably tell, because I'm wearing the same attire, I'm pretty much hot off the trails of last week's video, which you can kind of see poking out from here. You can go ahead and watch that if you want. It was kind of a total bust. Not the best work in the world, but that's why we're doing these real-time paints, so that we can learn together. So anyway, today, kind of still snowing. Kind of tired of the cold, tired of the snow. I just want springtime. So I figured I'm going to paint a butterfly today, and we're actually going to use the gouache, which is a medium that I'm not quite used to. I know that it can be applied right out of the tube, or it can be diluted with water to create more of a watercolor texture. But it is like a water-based paint, so it can be used like watercolor, or it can be used somewhat like acrylic. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out where my brush is. So I'm going to work on this background here. I'm going to put some darker like greens and things in there. I will show you the picture actually that I'm going to be basing this off of. I'm just going to recreate this picture. Of course, the reference image is in the link in the description below if you want to check it out and paint along. So anyway, I'm using the Reeves, let me just get you the box here. This was on Blick's website. It was on clearance. It was the Reeves Gouache set. It's pretty cheap. And I figure, you know what? If I'm going to try gouache out and see if I like it, might as well do it cheaply. So I don't really know how to do gouache. But I feel like I should do dark to light with the background. Maybe? I don't know. We're going to try something. So I'm going to mix a little bit in here. I don't really know how much I'm supposed to use. Maybe a little bit more because that background's a little bit big. But I'm going to work my way from the background to the butterfly. I just feel like maybe that's how I'm supposed to do it. Alright, so I applied some dark green here. I'm going to use a smaller brush just because I want to work around the butterfly. And yeah. So my brush is a little bit damp, and I'm just going to go in with this dark green, and I'm going to paint, I guess. Maybe I will dilute it a little bit, because that is a tad too thick, and it's not applying very well. Where is my... There it is, my dropper. I love using a dropper when I paint. There we go, that's a little bit better. Though that texture does look really nice though. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay. So I'm just going to go into this background here and just get this dark green in. Because let's see, for Inktober last year, I did paint, or not paint, but I did color for the one, what was it? I was doing a whole bunch of different prompts last year, and that was probably my downfall. But I did do some blue butterflies in one drawing, and I actually really liked them. So I figure, you know what? This particular set has a bunch of blues in it, so I am going to utilize them. So I'm just going up here. This set actually has some very nice colors, and they swatched pretty well. I swatched them dry, and I also swatched them diluted with a little bit of water, just to see how they worked. Okay, I'm also going to go down here. Add some more water. My brush was getting a little bit dry. I have a feeling I'm really going to like gouache. Just because, one, I love water-based stuff. I love watercolor stuff. But two, this dries and lays on so opaque. And I love opacity in my paintings. Okay. Almost done here. I have to say though, this stuff does have a really chemically smell. I don't know if that's true for all gouache, but this definitely smells like chemicals, or it just has an odor to it. It's a bit unpleasant. Okay, so this is down. My back's starting to hurt. Ugh. Okay. So that's down. I feel like I should let that dry a little bit. Let me see. The next color I need to use. What do I want to use? Swatch book. I did pull out all the colors I thought I would need. But it's still good to get your swatch book out. Do I want to use a mid-green? Yeah, let's use a mid-tone. I did pull out 4 different greens. I'm probably not going to use the emerald green, because that one's more of a blue tone. It's more of a blue-green, really. I mean, this is a blue-green too, this dark one. Alright, let's use this mid-green. And I am thinking I want to apply this one mostly dry. I say that and then I like glob it on my brush. Let's just kind of see where it takes us. Because the background is kind of like out of focus in this picture. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of focus on the background anyway. Okay. I like the different kinds of textures you can get when you apply stuff on a drier surface or with a drier brush. I think it looks neat. I've been doing a lot of that with the series that's going to be coming in March that I did. I used a lot of that kind of sort of technique too. I'm actually really excited about it. And I hope you guys are excited about it too, because I've been having a lot of fun doing it. I'm not going to talk about it though, because it's a surprise. But I hope you guys do enjoy it, because I have been liking making them. Alright, so getting down to my last itty bits here. Alright, why don't we do the lighter green now. Here's leaf green. Ha ha ha. Just like Pokemon. Gonna put that right here. Ooh, that's a little watery. Nice. And I'm just gonna add a little bit. You know what? I even might add some of the other colors into it. Just to kind of like get it all triangulated. Alright, just kind of touching it here and there. The background is not the focus. The focus is the butterfly. But we want something in the background. How's that look? That's alright. Okay. Now we're going to work on this wood piece here. This is like a piece of wood. But before, you know what? I think I can still work on this palette. Alright, I was going to say I can wash the palette. Alright, so the greens I'm going to just set aside because we're done with them. Now for the wood, I chose this peach color, I chose red ochre, and I chose yellow ochre. Because if you look in the photo, the piece of wood is quite light, but it also has like little specks in it too. So I figure I can try to do that. My shoulders are really hurting a lot more than usual. Like sometimes I'll get like kind of like that pins and needles feeling in my back. Okay, so we're gonna put some peach down. Now there is quite a bit of peach going on, so this I might have to dilute, which I'm okay with. I can almost see now why these were discontinued. It seems that they're separating a little bit, but we can still work with them. Alright, so where's my squishy? There you are. Don't want to dilute it too much because I'm not sure how thickly this will, opaquely I should say, it's going to go on for me. Or how much I'm going to need. I might want to add some white because that's a little bit more orange than I was expecting. I'll put the white in a different area. I feel like white gouache is the one that's going to be used the most. There we go. Oh, that's much better. I'll still use both though. Both pans. Don't want to waste. Waste not, want not. Okay. Gonna add a little bit of water though. I do believe I'm going to love working with gouache. I might have to add a little bit more white, but I'm actually just going to start on this and see where it takes me. There's a little bit of blue from the other picture. Don't want that in this one. I like that. Ooh, you know, I could try to keep some of that texture from the paper in. It's just going to be hard working around the butterfly. I really do like this stuff. If it wasn't for the smell, but it does, I really do like how this lays. Because it lays like paint. Oh my gosh, I tell you though, that acrylic painting, I talked about it a little bit in the other video. That acrylic painting is like, it was horrible. You'll see it next month, but it was just awful. Acrylic is just not for me. I mean, I would love to work with it more, since it is part of my resolution this year to work with other mediums, but ugh, it was awful. Okay. Definitely gonna have to mix up more of this lighter peach color, but so far so good. I think Bailey J worked with gouache once and I don't think she liked it. And I think that's what gave me second thoughts about wanting to try gouache too. Because I'm like, oh no. If Bailey J doesn't like gouache, am I gonna like gouache? But Mark Crilly uses gouache a lot in his artwork. He uses it for highlights and stuff. Just putting a little bit more white in my pan here. And I'm going to mix it with some of that peach. And I need to use some more water. I really recommend getting a dropper because it's easier to control your water that way. Alright, more peach though. This is a little bit too light. Okay. Gotta get back. See, the only thing that sucks when you make your own colors is that you have to keep making them. You have to make them right every single time. We're getting there. I think a little bit more and we should be okay, or at least close to it. Let me see. Maybe a little bit. Alright, let's continue. I am going to have to cover up parts of the butterfly, at least like the antennas. Because I can just go over those with more gouache, it's fine. Some of his little eyeballs are probably going to get covered up too. I love butterflies so much. I went to Hershey a couple of years ago. How long ago was that? 2 years ago, probably. And they have a butterfly pavilion. And it is so fun to just walk in there and like butterflies are just flying all around you. And sometimes they'll land on you and it's just like, it is so fun. It's like out of a fairy tale. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's really fun. We also have the Pennsylvania State Farm Show was going on not last weekend because of how this recording is going to go up, but I think it was 2 weeks ago. And yeah, it's a big thing around here, mostly because there's not a whole lot else to do around in this area of Pennsylvania. I'm just taking this mixed up peach color and just putting it everywhere now, since I don't want it to go to waste. But yeah, a lot of people like to go to the farm show. They like to see the farm animals. And there's a lot of food there. It's really good. I have not been to the farm show in several years. And I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit overrated. A lot of people love it. They love going every single year, but I just don't care for it. I grew up on a farm. I know how the animals look. But yeah, they had a butterfly pavilion. I don't know if that was ever like a thing that they had before, but they had a butterfly pavilion this year. Okay, so that looks good. I'm going to pour out this dirty water into my dirty water cup and fill it with new water. Okay. There, just a little bit. Okay. So this is going to start drying. I'm going to get some of the yellow and red ochre out, but actually I might mix them a little bit with that peach color, the darker one, the not so mixed peach. And I don't want to use a whole lot of these because there's not a whole lot, but can't control how much comes out. There we go. Okay, so I have little bitty dabs. I might take a scrap piece of paper here and just test out some color matches here. How's that look? I like it. Okay. And I'll just kind of drag this. To create some texture of wood. There we go. Now some of the areas that haven't quite dried yet are kind of like mingling. Like my brush is sweeping over them and mixing, which, you know, whatever. I might go to that green background and maybe blur it out a little more, because I'm noticing that it just looks really harsh. My Fitbit vibrated. It's telling me I need to get up and walk. I might do that actually, just because my shoulder is kind of hanging me right now. Okay, so we added a little bit of that texture there. I am going to stop it here and I'm just going to stretch and take a break, because it's been about 20 minutes. It's always good to take little breaks when you're painting. The gouache should be fine. Luckily it doesn't have that much of a fast drying time when it's in the thing. I will put a little bit of water on top of them just to help prevent drying. And I will be back in a second. Okay, so like I said, want to try to blend this background. I don't know if that's possible. Ooh, okay. It is possible. Except I don't want to blend it that much because I still really want to keep those colors kind of separate. But I don't want all that harshness. And it might not even blur as much as I want it to, and that's fine. I just wanted to see if that was possible. And it is. Except it is lifting a little bit. And, you know, whatever, that's okay. I just thought it would be nice to know. I should not do accents on this channel. I am not good at them. My boyfriend is Irish, so he has... It's not a thick accent, but he does have an accent. And so, when we first started dating, I always wanted him to, like, say different words, just so I could hear how he says them. Like, his parents' accents are much thicker than his. But it's still fun. Okay, so that didn't quite get the result that I was looking for, but oh well, it's fine. I'm going to move on and I'm going to add some red ochre to the bark of this tree. So I'm going to, oh, you know what? Like I said, I wanted to mix it a little bit with that peach color. Because it's definitely in there, but this red ochre isn't that prominent. So I don't want a whole lot on my brush. Okay. Moment of truth. Ooh, yeah, that's more than I wanted. Let's see if we can rub this off. Now it's too wet. Trials and errors, everybody. And I can probably go over that with the peach anyway, so it's fine. Okay. Definitely going to go over that with the peach. Because I did not want that to be so visible. And that'll be interesting to see how this reacts with, like, layering. Maybe I'll just cover all of them. I just like to experiment. It's definitely something that more people need to do more. I feel like more people need to do it live. Because almost every single YouTuber I've seen who does art on their channel, I never see them do like, I never see them mess up. It just gets frustrating because, you know, yeah, it's nice to see, you know, completed artwork. And that's how most artists make a living, is with their completed, beautiful, most amazing artwork they could ever possibly create in their entire life. But I feel like it's also important to see our shortcomings. What doesn't work? It's definitely something. I might be going a little bit overboard. But I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? Gotta tell me. Tell me the truth. You having fun? Because I won't do these if you're not having fun. I'm not going to sit here and just color if you're not having fun with me. Alright. So that is the wood. It doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look awful. Alright, now we're going to move on to that butterfly. So there are several different shades of blue in this butterfly. There is a very light blue, there's mid-tone blues, and there's a very dark blue. So I feel like I'm gonna go from the light blue to the dark blue, only because I'm not sure how blending is gonna work, and I'm a little scared. But I do know I wanted to work with I think it was Blue Lake was the first blue I'm gonna work with. And that needed to be mixed with white. So I'm trying not to do too much product. Alright, water it down and blend it together. Because the blue that's on this butterfly looks so pale, it looks almost white, so I might need to add a little bit more white to this. Alright, ooh, this stuff really stinks. Actually, I'm going to add white in a different pan and mix that blue gradually. Oh, with some water. Water helps. There we go. Okay, that's getting lighter. Good. Good, good, good. Alright. I am going to go one step further, though, and add more white. And yet another pan. It's good to have ranges. Add some water. And then we add what's left on our brush. And that should be even lighter than that. Okay. I feel pretty good about that. So I'm going to go ahead and start painting in the butterfly. Now, I kind of have little guidelines. My shoulder is just really bugging me. I do have some guidelines. They are probably going to get covered up, and that's okay. Is this dry enough for me to put my hand on? Yes, it is. Okay. So we're going to start. I'm just going to start. Just going to start. That, I hope that pencil line gets covered up. Alright. And I'm not like that afraid of where I'm putting this blue because it can either get covered up with black or it's going to get covered up with more blue. So I'm not afraid to go crazy. The snow is still coming down. It's supposed to snow all day. And so far, my car is completely covered. And I was hoping to run to the post office today, but that is not going to happen. Alright, so this comes up here. I'm running out of blue. My phone is starting to dim. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I just want to get that blue on there. I might just do that too. Why not? There. Because my thing is, I can probably shape the butterfly's pattern with the black. As well as the other blues. Alright. Looks good. Looking good. Okay. Just want to really make sure I'm using all that blue up. Really like how this looks. Except for the wood. Alright. So, the next blue, we're going to move on to that other one that we mixed up. And I'm going to focus that more on the edges because the middle of this butterfly looks like it has all the highlights and stuff. So I'm going to start just laying it in there like that. That way it has a slight gradient. Alright. It looks nice. Don't you just love when it turns out? Don't you love when your picture turns out exactly how you wanted it? I like that bottom part best. Alright, same with the other side. I'm just dabbing pretty much the entirety of the brush loaded with pigment, just like that. Not scrubbing, not doing anything fancy, just laying the brush. There we go. Okay, I definitely like that down here the best. Got a little chunky. I'm gonna swipe a little bit down here just to get that bit of a point that I like in the other picture, or the other wing. That looks really cool. A little more of that blue. How does that look on that wing? I'm gonna go down the side here. Okay. Alright. There we go. Now, I think I'll add a little bit of that darker blue to some areas. Okay. I don't want to add too much though. Okay. It's mostly focused up in this area. So up top. There is a little bit on the edges of these, so I will put some in there. How do I want to do this? I don't know. Just play with it. See what works. Okay. Now the brighter blue will come when we do the top part of the butterfly. Got a little bit carried away with that darker blue, but that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Can't be perfect all the time. Okay. Turning you back on. I think I chose cobalt blue as my very pigmented blue, since it is a very pretty blue. This blue lake was very meh. It's just kind of a whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Cobalt. Need your cobalt. I have a Chevy Cobalt. That is what I drive. This is more of the blue that I like. Very dark. Dark and pretty. Look at that. Just cleaning the brush off. Adding some water. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this not wet, dirty water. Add some clean water to the bowl. I might take a break here in a couple minutes after I get this top part painted. Actually, you know what? Since this is wet, I'll take my break now. Just because I don't want my nice bright blue to be mingling too much with the other blue, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here for a minute and I'll see you in a second. Okay, I'm ready to add the next blue. This is just a little bit damp. I don't think it will really affect the blue that I'm about to lay down. So this is cobalt blue. I'm just gonna add a little bit of this. And then when I looked, the blue on the butterfly is a lot richer, so I decided I was going to get some violet to add too. But right now we're going to add this cobalt in some areas. Yeah, just a little bit. I wonder if my little brother's awake yet. I'll try to get my recording done in the morning. That's the only downside at still living at home, is I have very limited time to record my videos for you guys. Because otherwise I have a bit of noise to deal with. And it's nobody's fault. It's really not. So I don't want it to sound like it's anybody's fault, but it's not. I don't really know what I'm doing with this butterfly now. I think I want to try and drag some of this color out. There we go. Interesting. Don't really know what I'm doing at this point. Okay. Ooh, I hit the camera. Oh, I'm sorry. Alright, I am going to add that violet because that's going to make it so much richer. I also want to add some Prussian blue. I'm going to add the violet in a different... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to add it right out of the tub. Right out of the tube. That way you don't pick up too much. Oh, there we go. That's pretty. That definitely takes it to the next level. Okay. I think I'm going to try and add this now. To the tops of the wings. Up in this area. I think once I start adding the fine detail, like the black parts, I think I'm actually going to like the result. Because right now, I just don't know. I just don't know about this right now, guys. Kind of just looks like a mess. I think I'll add Prussian blue. I want to see what Prussian blue is going to look like. Let me just see here. I forgot that I can just take stuff out of the tube instead of dabbing it on the palette. Let's see. I do like that. That's really pretty. But now this is all wet, so I feel like I need to let this dry. I feel like that's all we do. Okay, guys. I'm gonna let this dry now. My little brother is awake now. He is taking a shower. And you and I are going to continue with our butterfly. What fell? Ooh, I do need to pick that up real quick. Okay. Sometimes I just bump into things. Alright, so I did mix up a color before we left of Prussian, Cobalt, and Violet. And we're just gonna lay that here. I forgot to bring my phone over so I could see my reference image. Alright. And I'm just gonna lay that up here because a lot of that rich blue color was concentrated up here. Okay. So I'm just gonna try to blend that more over here. Alright. I do need to get my phone though because I forget what comes next. Probably some black. Let me just get my phone off the charger. Yeah, this isn't quite turning out how I wanted it, but it's okay. It's fine. You know? So we're gonna pull some black in. Ugh, there we go. No, I don't want you. Okay. Black, 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 black. Alright, so the black I'm going to put in a tray. Okay. We are going to be using quite a bit of it, but I will just use a little bit at a time. I might actually go back in with ochre since I still have some sitting in my pan. Why not? Waste not, want not. Ooh, mix it. There we go. I don't like having globs of paint just sitting there being unused. You can kind of save paint. I know my one teacher taught me that to save acrylic paint for later use, you can put some paper towel over top of it, or like plastic wrap, I think. So I did that a couple times. You definitely want to use diluter medium though too. Put a little dab of them. A little dab of diluter medium. Okay. Or retarder medium is the other word. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of water on the black. And we're going to start filling in the rest of the wings and the body. Alright. We're going to work our way down and then up. I did notice too that the wings of this butterfly seem to be a little bit scalloped. So I want to try to work that in. Okay, I just want to work on the outline of the wings first before I move in and fill it in. Okay, and then we're gonna, let me see. We're gonna make a thin line down. Because there's actually much more blue up here than I anticipated. I kind of measured it incorrectly. So maybe I can add more blue in a little bit. I'm not that worried about it right now. Okay, so taking an almost dry brush, I want to start adding a little bit of a gradient between the black and the blue. That looks cool. Yeah, definitely feel a little bit more relaxed about how it looks now since we're adding the black in. Before I was just not feeling it. Wasn't really sure how it was gonna look, but I like more so how it looks now. My shoulder is still bothering me. Maybe I should put a heating compress on it. Okay, well, let's work on the other wing. And again, I'm just gonna work on the outline first. Before I start filling it in. I think I really am gonna like working with gouache and practicing with it because I just like how it layers, and I like layers. And it's not as like, I don't know, there's something about acrylic that I just cannot stand. But I will one day triumph over the acrylic paint. I don't know how, but it will work. Okay. Make that line again. You might be able to hear my brother taking a shower. I don't know. I know I can hear him. Alright, so we made our line. So let's start filling in and adding that kind of in between texture. This is relaxing, actually. Make sure your brush is not saturated, or else you're not going to get that kind of blotchy texture. I like that texture. Well, when it's appropriate. There we go. Alright. Now I have to fill in the butterfly itself. Add a little bit more texture. My phone shut off. Alright. Okay, cleaning off my brush. It does have some black in this area here, so I'm gonna add those. It's kind of like a, don't really know what kind of shape that is. Okay. There we go. I was gonna compare it to a clover, but it doesn't really look like a clover. There. Alright, I gotta add that blue though. I do need to make more of it. So it was a combination of cobalt, Prussian blue, and violet. So I'm just gonna take a little bit out of the tube of each and mix it in the palette with some water. Prussian blue, come on. There we go. Cobalt. Come on, bye-bye. There we are. All right. Get my dropper. And we'll mix it up. I might have added too much water, actually. Oh, that looks okay. It looks a lot nicer than before, actually. Okay. So I'm just gonna fill in up here. That is actually much prettier. That is really pretty. All right. Okay. Gonna get some of that dampness off. Kind of working a little texture. Okay. That looks great. All right. Other side. I think he's going to turn the TV on. I hope he doesn't turn it too loud. All right. I don't want to work this too much because it looks like it's mixing, So I'm actually gonna just add a little bit more down the sides and probably stop. Okay. Because now the only thing I need to add are the white parts and add the black for the butterfly's body. So why don't we do the body real quick. There we go. The picture I'm using is not the best, so I can't really get all the details, but it'll do. It'll do for practice. Alright, his head is almost like a triangle. Or her head. Its head. There. Okay. And I'm going to use a smaller brush for the antenna. Where is my small brush? My liner brush. It is a pretty thin brush. Alright, we're just going to drag it out. Like that. Other side's not going to be so good because I'm left-handed. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. I think I'm going to get some white and just add some spots. I'm just going to add it right out of the tube. And it looks like there's spots all the way down the edges, as well as on some areas of the thing. Oh, I forgot that there's like some very fine details for the wings, but you know, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm kind of running out of time here because my little brother's awake and he's making noise and yep. Alright, so I'm just going to add some gouache. White gouache in some areas. Right here. Might have added it too thickly, but that's okay. Right here. And then down the sides of the wings, kind of along the scallops. It's pretty. I like butterflies. Other side. There. Alright, so I'm actually going to dry my brush a little bit, and I want to add some white gouache along the sides here. Wow, he's just... I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's so loud. Alright. There we go. And we'll add it to the other side. There. There we go. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna add some of the finer details. I might use a dip pen, but I will see you very shortly. Okay, so I lied about using a dip pen for the details because I'm afraid that the nib is going to scratch up the gouache. So I'm just going to use a liner brush and add details that way. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put in these veins that the butterfly has, and I have to do it very delicately. So I'm going to start at one wing and just work my way down. Okay. These are not going to be anatomically correct veins, but at least it will have some. Okay. Oh, see, my brush needs to be a little bit more coated. But I'm just afraid it's gonna, like, I'm just afraid it's gonna get gloppy on one end. Alright, let's try this. We need to make one up here. And then we'll swoop it. Woo! I don't know if that was good, but oh well. We're trying. Good enough for me. Okay. Going down the other side, pretty much just mirroring it. Except now my strokes are wider. And I just screwed it up. I'm kind of trying to hurry now because my little brother turned the TV on. And now he's watching TV, and now we're going to hear all that fun noise. Okay. Alright. It's not perfect. It doesn't really look that good. Oh, it's all uneven. But that's okay. You know, that's why we try. That's why we try. I'm just like all paranoid now because all I hear is the noise upstairs. So it's freaking me out. Okay, well anyway. I'm going to go ahead and take this tape off. And I'm going to sign my piece. So we all know who drew it. That way we know who to blame for this piece here. Gotta wash that then. Alright, I'm gonna take the old pen nib. And I gotta turn it sideways so you can see me write my beautiful name. My pretty name. There we go. Alright. And it's still the same day, so I'm going to date it what the day is, but this video isn't going to come out until later. So, my name is Knoel. I gotta learn how to use this pen correctly. And today is the 16th of January. So, January 16th, 2018. Alright, that's it for this picture. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. If you painted along, I would love to see what you painted. So tag me on social media. I tried to list them in the little black box below my face. This isn't quite dry, but anyway, thank you guys so much. If you want to see other art related videos, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here, and I will catch you guys next time.